I know I've done it. You probably have too. That's okay, but you really want to be aware of complaining in your business because a little complaining is okay, but if you get a lot of it, it can create big problems for your organization. A lot of the time, complaining, you're just letting off some steam. There's something you don't like, you're upset about something, so you complain about it. Get it off your chest. Okay, that's fine. But when it becomes your go-to move or you're complaining about the same stuff over and over again, then it becomes a problem. It affects the company culture, the morale of the employees, the productivity usually falls. There's a financial cost with that and a retention issue as well, because who wants to be in a place where people are complaining all the time? Do you remember much about chemistry? Unfortunately, I was not the best at chemistry, but I do remember the concept of a catalyst. A catalyst was something that you would add to a chemical reaction that would make that reaction bigger and also happen faster. Sometimes complaining is that negative catalyst where a little bit of complaining is okay, it's healthy, but suddenly it becomes more, it grows. And people can tell this is not a happy place. People who are interviewing for positions, they realize, ooh, I don't want to work here. People who are your customers are going to be like, something just feels off about here. Or people don't seem focused on me. They seem focused on everything that's wrong in your organization. You really want to be careful with complaining because it can expand and grow really fast. One type of complaint I see a lot of, people are complaining about the same thing. There's something that is not right, a policy. Maybe there's not enough chairs in the organization. A piece of equipment is outdated. But here's the deal. This problem cannot be solved anytime soon. It's just not in the budget. It's not possible. So you got to live with it. But some decide, I'm going to complain about this every day. They're just going to keep going over the same thing again and again. There is no resolution that can happen. In these situations, I feel your pain. But maybe it's time to accept that not everything is going to be perfect at work. What are the things that you can control? What are the things you can do that will make you happier? Maybe part of that is saying if these things aren't improving, it's time to update the resume, maybe look at going somewhere else. But just staying in one place, complaining about the same shortcoming every day, that's not going to help you or the organization. I want to talk to you about what I call the never-ending fight. This is another type of complaining. Usually it is between two colleagues. It could be two really good people like department heads, and they have an issue where they do not agree at all. And they constantly complain about the other person's perspective. In many cases, upper management has already made a decision. We're going with this direction. But the two parties, they keep arguing about it and complaining to their staffs about the other person. How they're so bad, they're so stupid. Oh. Okay. If there's an issue that you don't like that's been decided and it's not in your favor, again, I think you have to accept it. You have to respect the decision. There's always that update the resume option there. It's not fair to your employees, the people who are working for you, to have to listen to you complaining so much about the other person. It's kind of like a boxing match, a prize fight. And the first fight, okay, I can understand that was a big battle. Yeah, okay, everyone made their point. But do you want to have to see the rematch again and again? Your employees, if you're guilty of doing this, they are probably really tired of hearing you complain about the other department or the other person. Sometimes acceptance is the best thing when it comes to office harmony. Are you using complaining as a stall tactic when it comes to making big decisions or doing things differently? Let's say sales are down. Well, sales are always down. We don't have enough staff or enough advertising. There's always something that you could have more of, but you probably won't have it. That's just one of those realities. So are you going to complain about not having something, or are you going to say, okay, yeah, we don't have enough money for advertising. We don't have enough people. But I'm going to work on a strategy to see if we can succeed. I'm going to accept the challenge of the limitations that we're facing. This is an active response to a challenging situation versus just lying back and saying, well, everything's bad here. I can't help it. Why try anymore? It's just all stinks. That's what happens with complaining. It paralyzes innovation and it keeps you in a place where you're just not happy. I want you to think about your supervisor like a magician, because sometimes your supervisor is able to solve your problem, and it could be a problem that you don't think can be solved. You don't mention it at all. You are suffering in silence. Well, you may be complaining to your colleagues, to your coworkers, but never up that next level to your supervisor. Let me give you a really simple example, because often people think a problem can never be solved, and they never even try to find out if it can. Let's say you have a pen that you use every day. It's the only pen that you have, and it leaks ink. So your hands get all dirty, your clothes get ink on them. It's not a good situation. You complain about it. Okay, yeah, this isn't good. You never tell your supervisor about it. You never give he or she an opportunity to solve the problem. Because the supervisor might say, oh, your one pen is leaking ink? Here's a new pen. Enjoy. It could be an easy fix to your problem. Mention these challenges to your supervisor, and they may say, nothing we can do about it. You're going to have to live with it. Okay, that's fair. But thinking that there's nothing that can be done may not be reality. So give that supervisor at least one opportunity to work a little magic, because they might be able to solve that challenge. Here's the guide that I mentioned earlier. Think of it as your little cheat sheet, a reminder to help you from seeing your organization fall into a complaining pit where you're just stuck there all the time. What I am doing is I am putting the download link into the chat notes. I will also put this link on YouTube and on my website if you're watching this presentation later on. Enjoy it. It's free for you to have. I hope it can be empowering to you and your organization. Want to find out more about me? My name is Ken Okel. I try not to complain too much. If you want to shoot me an email, it's in the middle there, tvguy@kenokel.com. I used to work in TV news for a lot of years. When you'd be out and about, people would recognize you, but they wouldn't remember your name. So they would call you things like TV Guy, hence the email. My website right above there is kenokel.com. You want to connect with me on LinkedIn? Love to connect. When you send the invitation, do mention where you became aware of me, like with this presentation. That helps me out a lot as I get many requests, and some are a little sneaky or might be from people who complain a lot. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Complaining is part of the workplace, but you can control it and maybe make it a little bit less of a habit. I'm Ken Okel. Take care.